Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Tuesday, the 23rd of February, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, Bath United acquit themselves well in first match of Premier Division despite loss. And in our feature for this evening, we feature the one and only Jan Grell Hull, President of the Nevis Netball Association. We'll take this break and I'll be right back.
As a responsible taxpayer, you help to finance free health care at all health centers on Nevis. Thank you for putting country above self. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis. Be a responsible citizen.
Well, I'm back and we begin with cricket. Andre McCarthy took a sensational hat-trick as Jamaica Scorpions made an incredible comeback to beat Barbados Pride in their final preliminary match of the CG Insurance Super 50 Cup on Sunday. The off-spinner ended with the amazing figures of 6 for 16 from 9.1 overs to lift his team to victory by 51 runs on the lights at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. It was Jamaica's second win in a row, which took them to 8 points, and they qualified for the semi-finals. Chasing 219 for victory, Pride, looking comfortable at 142 for 2, were bowled out for 167 due to McCarthy's career best figures and the best for Jamaica in List A history. He was named the CG Insurance Man of the Match. Now to football, and we have some results of Premier League matches played in St. Kitts between the 19th and the 21st of February at Warner Park Football Stadium. On Friday, 19th February, Sol Island Otto Connery 3, Trafalgar South Stars 1. In Match 2, KFC Old Road United Jets 0, Fast Cash Saddlers United 4. Saturday, 20th February, Match 1, SL Hospital St. Paul's United 2, Deep Bay Eagles 0. Rams Village Superstars 0, Flow 4GK on Rockets 0. Sunday, the 21st February in Match 1, and this one is of more interest to us here on Nevis, S. Grave Newtown United 1, Hot Springs Bath United 0. Scoring for Newtown, Johannes Mitcham in the 34th minute. In Match 2, St. Peter's 1, HE Garden Hotspurs got 2 goals. Let's take in this Andre Huey report from Friday night's games.
The SKNFA Premier League kicked off on Friday with 2 matches at the Warner Park, which saw victories for Sol Island Auto Supply's Connery FC dispatching Trafalgar South Stars 3-1 and Fast Gas Saddlers drubbing KFC United Old Road Jets 4-0. Scoring for Connery, Kadeen Lewis in the 9th minute, Ahijah Wilkes in the 20th minute, and Anthony Brown in the 86th minute. Ronaldo Nisbet of South Stars scored that team's lone goal in the 50th minute. In the second match between KFC United Old Road Jets, the goal scorers for Saddlers, Nickwan Phipps scoring twice in the 23rd and 48th minutes, Alfonso Murray in the 55th minute, and Stefan Rollins in the 85th minute. Both matches were broadcast live on the SKNFA website. Here are highlights of Connery versus South Stars as commentated by Al Edwards and Essington Watts.
Connery weaving the way forward. Free in Theodale, shot and goal, or cross, we don't, not too sure. Clearance eventually, and again Connery picks it up. Lewis doesn't hesitate to shoot. And a ball in the back of the net, a deflection. Looked harmless at first, but Connery has scored. Lewis shot, a boot was stuck out, and the goalkeeper was wrong-footed.
Yes, as I say, took a deflection.
Our 25 man the far post, this could be dangerous. That's not a goal, it's there! A second, it's there! Connery, their second goal. Good work from right to left to center. And then the man on the far side finished it just in time. South Stars, again they go forward, a dangerous pass. Gets on the man, establishes the goal. It's there! It's there! South Stars is answered. South Stars in the back of the net. It's 2-1.
It was always coming. Good pressure by South Stars. When they made the start of the second half, they have gotten into the Connery box on 2 previous occasions, but this time they convert. On the third occasion, they convert and get in a very good goal indeed. Exactly what Dr. ordered for South Stars. Get an early goal in the second half, pull one back, and keep themselves in the game. Very good goal indeed. Well worked and well finished. Need to get that extra goal.
Connery in the back of the net this time. Anthony Brown in the right position at the right time.
We also have highlights of Saddlers taking on Old Road, commentators Sylvester Charles and Al Edwards.
One comes all the way over, picks out Phipps this time. Here's Saddlers on the attacking side of the penalty area. Phipps in it, takes up right footer, and he scores! A tremendous strike from just on the top of the penalty area. It was Phipps with it. He beat one defender. He looked up, realized he had some space, and he swatted it into the back of the net. The first goal of this particular encounter tonight. Phipps does well with the right boot, putting it into the back of the net in just about the 22nd minute. Let's trying to push that one forward. This one get away from the custodian. It could be the second goal for Saddlers. Oh my! On the counter attack. And is that Phipps again on that far side? Nikon Phipps just rushing that one. The goalkeeper coming off his back and not being able to get there. It was almost a 50-50 ball.
It looks like it's Alfonso Murray, the number 9 who plays in the number 9. Okay, Morris, 2 players who have been in the regular starting lineup. Here comes another goal from the corner, Flicon.
What is this? The number 15 is celebrating there for Saddlers. This was the corner he came across and he flicked it on jubilantly. Stephen Rollins.
These matches were held without spectators in the stadium due to the restrictions from COVID-19 protocols. Patrons instead will have to watch the matches as streamed on the SKNFA website. The broadcast is free of cost this week but will attract a $5 fee per match day as of Friday, February 26th. In other words, at $5, patrons will be able to watch both matches available for each day.
Thank you so much, Andre. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
Hi, miss, are you okay?
My chest hurting me. All the pain gone down to my arm.
Someone call the ambulance.
In the event of a health emergency, dial 469-3333.
Good day, you've reached the Alexandra Emergency Line. This is Nurse Hanley speaking. What is your emergency?
For health emergencies, dial 469-3333. That's 469-3333.
Well, I'm back, and tonight netball is in the spotlight. She's a founding member of the Nevis Netball Association, which started way back in April 1972. She has served in every executive position in the association. Tonight we feature part 1 of an exclusive interview with the one and only Janet Grell-Hull. I'm with Jan Grell-Hull, the president of the Nevis Netball Association. Jan, of course, as per usual, it's a privilege to speak with you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Curtis.
Now, you would have gone through quite a bit as regards netball, maybe just for the purpose of those persons who probably landed from Mars last night. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with netball in the first place.
Well, Curtis, it goes back years. When I was in high school, I used to see the big girls playing netball. Because we were little, we never got the opportunity to play. So when I left the high school, I formed my own club. That was about 1970. But I left school long before that.
Okay. You told me some time ago that those days the poles were kind of primitive and how Harold Walters helped. Could you just, because I don't think some of the younger netballers could fathom what you're talking about. Tell us a little bit about those early poles.
Okay, well, in those days, the only netball court was in the high school, and it was on grass, and the poles were in the ground. They were planted in the ground, cemented in the ground. Mm-hmm. But then when I wanted my poles, when I formed my netball club, we didn't have any specific place to play because we used to go into the park. That time the park was low to the street. Mm-hmm. That was before it was built up.
Okay.
And so we used to just go in there and try to play. But then the cricketers and the cricket ball hitting us and all sorts of things.
You are an endangered species.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Harold Walters made some poles for us, and he planted it inside the rim of a tire. That's the name of it? A rim of a tire.
Yeah.
So they were movable. So we used to move them all about the place.
And you just place some concrete in it and you just roll them, roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wherever there was a space, we used to put them. We even used to put them in the street.
Wow.
Because in those days, in
Not a lot of
1970,
cars.
you didn't have a lot of traffic.
Okay.
So right in the street by the high school, we used to put the poles in the street there, and we used to play in the street.
So you learned your craft in pretty primitive circumstances, but that must have made you an even better goal shooter. And I'm going to tell you why, because those of us who grew up in those early years playing cricket, we never used to have a lot of pads. We used to actually use these cardboard boxes and tie them around us. So that is why they would tell you that the early division batsmen could play off their pads so well, because if those hard balls hit you, you're down and out. So you made sure that you could bat well enough to keep those balls off your pad. So you know, in those primitive circumstances, probably even became a better goal shooter. Your thoughts on that?
Well, it made us better players. You know, we had to use the street. It wasn't the correct size, but we still couldn't contact each other.
Right.
So it made us...
So you learned the basics of the game.
Basics of the game, and learned not to play and not to touch each other. Now they play and they push and jump on people and things like that.
Okay.
But we went back into the park and we got an area. After they built up the park, we got an area under the hill.
Close up.
Close up. And we used to play there. Of course, we marked out our court there.
Did you play matches there?
Yes.
Okay.
And Lulu, you remember Lulu?
Yes.
Lulu used to be with me.
He was a football umpire.
Yeah, he was a netball umpire.
And
he helped us to mark out the court. And we used the diesel from the
plant.
The power plant, to burn out the grass. And then we went down onto the beach and we got some of the clear sand and put it in the marking.
Nice.
So, you know, so it could
so
be
you all
like
were very creative.
Yeah, and we had our movable poles.
Nice.
We still used to get hit with a cricket ball, but at least it was
a lot safer
and better. We could get the correct size of the netball court.
But more specific to this interview today, you also got involved in administration. And my understanding is that you also probably did every single executive position. Could you talk us through that?
Well,
aspect?
when the Netball Association was formed in 1972, it was myself, my mother, Doris Stevens, Millicent John, I think Sheila Henville.
Miss Newton, maybe?
No.
No, okay.
Those were
the starters.
Those were the starters with the executive.
Okay.
And then the high school had a netball team.
Seacoast.
And then I had my netball team, so that was 2. And then we got another netball team from
Rollins.
Gingerland, from Rollins.
Mustangs?
No,
not Mustangs, okay.
Mountain Rockers.
Mountain Rockers, yeah.
Mountain Rockers. So those were the 3 netball teams on the island.
Okay.
And that's when the Netball Association was formed in 1972, in April.
So you were there from the start?
From the beginning, yeah.
Wow.
I was a founding member.
Wow.
So, and my netball club funded it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in 1972 also, in August, the West Indies Netball Championship was going to be held in St. Kitts.
That very same year that the association.
The association was formed, and we decided that we were going to put in a team, seeing that it was just in St. Kitts, and we were just here in Nevis, we could go and get the experience.
Sense.
Yeah. And the president of the West Indies Association was Lister Lewis. And so when she came to St. Kitts to check out the facilities and whatnot, we invited her over to Nevis.
Good move.
You know, to meet with the executive and to help us. And she actually gave us a trophy, the Lister Lewis trophy, to play, because we decided we're going to play our own championship, tournament in Nevis that same year.
That's good. 3 teams.
And we did it with 3 teams. And at the end of the tournament, we selected the players who would go to St. Kitts.
Before that, though, bet your Seacoast won that tournament. Or your
Seacoast
team
won the tournament.
Okay. Yeah. I know Seacoast had a good team. Joya Clark and those kind of people. Bernadette Bartlett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And during that tournament, I fell and I broke my elbow.
Wow.
So I didn't get to take part in the championship.
Okay.
So we went down, and
but you went with them though.
No, I didn't go.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't take it.
Okay. Okay.
I couldn't take not being there.
Okay. Okay.
And so in that championship, there was a, what you could call it, could go into the Guinness Book of Records.
A score? A
score. Trinidad beat Nevis 117-0.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, that's 1972.
That's 1972.
I hope the youngsters who are in school would mark that down, because that's a historical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1972. Trinidad and Tobago beat Nevis 100-0.
117.
117-0. Wow.
But it didn't just go like that. When the Trinidad team went back to Trinidad, Dr. Eric Williams was very angry with them.
To beat up on a small island.
It doesn't have to, it's not a small island. He said that is not fair play.
Okay.
If you're playing with the team and you realize the team is a weak team, you help them on. You don't beat upon them like that.
Okay.
And he presented the Netball Association with a trophy called Fair Play.
Wow.
And up to when I stopped playing netball, that trophy was still going around.
Wow.
It was still being there.
And knowing what I've heard about Dr. Williams, he almost locked them up. I mean, he was that kind of a guy, serious guy, yeah.
Yes, you don't do that.
Yeah.
He said, you don't do that.
Wow.
You know? And after that, you know, we started getting better and improve all, you know, as we go along, you know.
So where did you fall in terms of administration then? Where did you start?
I was secretary.
Secretary, okay, at the time.
I held every position, but not president, because you couldn't be president and a player.
Okay.
And I said, well, you know, I'm playing.
But that I know, and you were a very good goal shooter. I just wanted folks to know that. Very good goal shoot.
Yes.
Before I move on to when you became president for the first time, tell us about your most outstanding game as a goal shooter. I think you told me it was in Trinidad. I'm not sure.
I had several, but the one that was the most important one to me was in 1982 when we played the championship in St. Kitts.
Okay.
I shot the most goals in the Caribbean.
Wow.
I was the #1 shooter.
And Trinidad was involved.
Yes.
And Trinidad always has good
Trinidad
goal shooters.
always won that, except that year
and
when
you shot
I won
the most goals.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, you know, but
Top
unfortunately,
ranking. They weren't picking a West Indies team that year.
No, unfortunately, they didn't give anything for that.
Okay.
No
so you don't even have a trophy to say.
You don't have a trophy to say anything, and you know, it wasn't like no.
And did they pick a West Indies team that year? Because I'm seeing if they picked a West Indies team that year, the most outstanding shoot should be representing.
No, they didn't pick a West Indies team that year. The West Indies team didn't come about until
later
1979.
Okay, all right. So tell us when you became president, having done all the executive positions.
Did all the executive positions, played all the matches in almost every country except Bermuda.
Representing Nevis and St. Kitts Nevis.
Representing Nevis.
You never had a St. Kitts Nevis team?
Yeah, but the St. Kitts Nevis team was only for international games.
But you played for that team as well, that's what
in 1979.
Right, so that's what I meant,
in 1979,
nice.
I got selected, myself and Crescente O'Flaherty.
The two selectees from Nevis.
People from Nevis to get
1979.
selected to play a world tournament in 1979. And we came number 6 in the world out of 21 teams.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you made a couple of shots.
Oh yeah, I played.
Yeah.
I actually played against Ireland. Okay. And it was a ding-dong battle. And I had the opportunity of shooting the winning goal for that team. We won them by 1. And I shot that.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go. Those are memories. Wonderful memories.
You can't forget about them.
Now, talk us through that first year when you became president.
In Well, I retired from playing in 1985.
Okay.
After we had the Caribbean Championships here in Nevis. Then I decided I'm finished. So in 1986, that was my first year as president for Nevis and also an umpire.
Okay.
I was the first qualified A-grade umpire in the Leeward Islands in 1974.
Wow.
So
you were president and still umpiring at the same time?
Yes, you could umpire as the president.
Okay. All right. And so
in 1986, that was my first when I umpired first. And as president, first place I umpired was in St. Lucia.
Okay.
And then the following year, I went to the Cayman Islands as the Dominica umpire.
Okay.
Umpire for Dominica.
Okay.
The following year.
They specifically asked you to come.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, in terms of one of your major achievements as president, I want to believe that the Grell Hull Stevens Netball Complex got its, should I say, foundation and everything under your presidency. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
because in 1980, when Doris Stevens was the president, they offered Nevis to host the Caribbean Championships, but she did not accept it because she said that we didn't have the facilities.
Of course, there's more to come. That's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.